Hey everyone, and welcome to Tapping Tuesday. For those of you who are new, I come on here every Tuesday and do EFT tapping. So I'm going to share this on my page. I'm going to give it a few minutes for some people to pop in, and then I'll explain EFT tapping and what I'll be doing tonight. All right. So welcome. If you are new, I'm Laura. I'm a life coach. I do EFT tapping as one of my modalities for healing. So for those of you who don't know what EFT tapping is, EFT, or emotional freedom technique, uses the meridians of the body to send a calming signal to the brain to help you get out of the fight or flight response in the brain. So when we do EFT tapping, we're tapping on the points or the meridians, and we send a calming signal to the brain. And what it does is it allows you to voice out what the negative things that are going on in your mind. So if you're already experiencing anything negative, anything that's kind of a repetitive pattern, anything in your brain that you're already like experiencing, we'll voice those concerns out and then move to a more positive and a neutral and a more positive. So when we're doing EFT tapping, we use an MPI, or our most pressing issue. So today's topic is going to be on self-love. So really, I wanted to do this topic for, of course, Valentine's Day was just last weekend. But I also feel that, this is such a topic that everyone could really relate to. I think really when it comes down to it, self-love is the thing that we neglect most, but we need the most. And a lot of people just, push aside their own needs or their own self-care or their own individual things that they're going through. And when you really push away a lot of your own needs, what you end up doing is you can sometimes be resentful of other people. So when we're tapping on self-love, sometimes it's the hardest thing to really work through. So self-love really is one of those topics that people are like, it's very cliche. It's just like, oh, just love yourself. Just be happy all the time. And that's not really what self-love is. Sometimes self-love looks like really facing your childhood trauma and the inner wounds that you've been dealing with in your life. Sometimes self-love looks like setting boundaries, and it looks like saying no to people, and it looks like having those tough conversations with people that you're really struggling to have. Sometimes self-love is really just forgiving yourself for where you're at and versus where you want to be, because we can often be our hardest critic. So we often beat ourselves up and don't even really realize that we're beating ourselves up. In order to, we think that that's actually somehow getting us further along, that we're going to actually reach our goals, but really it's kind of pushing us further back. So I feel like self-love is a really good topic. What I'm going to focus mostly on is the lack of self-love. So when we do our MPI, we're going to rate it on the lack of self-love that we have for ourselves. So we can kind of see where we are on that scale. And then hopefully we can bring the number down so that we're feeling better. We're starting to recognize how hard we are on ourselves, and we're starting to kind of get out of that pattern. So I'm going to show you guys the tapping points, and then we can kind of get into the EFT tapping. So if you're new here, you can say hi if you pop in. I can't see who all's in here right now, but if you just say hi in the comments below. And I'm just going to show you guys the tapping points right now. So this is the first tapping point. It's the karate chop point. And then the top of the head, the eyebrow point, the sides of the eye, underneath the eye, underneath the nose, the chin point, the collarbone point, underneath the arms. So for those of you who just popped in, I just explained all the tapping points. So if you want to learn more about EFT tapping, there are plenty of videos on YouTube. Also, the tappingsolution.com. And also they are having their tapping summit coming up soon. So if you go on their website, there'll probably be a prompt for you to sign up for their annual tapping summit that they have. And I really highly recommend it. I've learned so much through their tapping summits, and they have so much content, and it's all free, but you have to watch it within a certain amount of time. So they release certain videos during the day, and then they kind of go away after a while. So if you want to do that, definitely recommend checking them out. So without further ado, we're going to get into the tapping for today. So what I want you guys to do is we're going to close our eyes. And we're going to just roll our shoulders back and roll your neck around a little bit and just kind of sink into your chair. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths in. So inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Just want you to check in with your body. So how are you feeling in this moment? And just notice how you're feeling. And then we're going to focus on our MPI, or our most pressing issue. And today, our most pressing issue is on self-love. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you feel about this statement? I lack in self-love. So 1 being you feel like you actually have more self-love, and then 10 being you're lacking self-love and you're feeling like it's hard for you to find that love. So just notice on a scale from 1 to 10 how much you feel about self-love, how much you love yourself. And just try not to judge it, try not to criticize yourself or beat yourself up for where you're at. Just notice it, because we're gonna work through tapping to kind of bring the number down so that you can start to love yourself more. And then just check in with your body. So how's your body feeling right now? And then you can rate that as well on a scale from 1 to 10. Are you feeling any tension anywhere, any tightness? Just notice that and just rate that number. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and we're going to begin the tapping again. So we're going to start with a setup statement, tapping on our karate chop point, which is this point right here. Just follow along with the points if you're not familiar with tapping, and just repeat after what I say. So even though I'm having trouble loving myself, I completely love and accept myself the way that I am. So we're tapping on the side of the hand and just repeating after me. Even though I'm really having trouble loving myself, I accept myself and where I am right now. So we're tapping on the side of the hand, just repeating after me. Even though I'm having such a hard time loving myself, I completely accept myself where I am right now. And tapping at the top of the head. I'm having trouble loving myself. It seems like it's easier to just be harder on myself. If I don't beat myself up, then nothing's going to get done. I just really struggle with loving myself. I just feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like I'm not perfect enough. I just really struggle with loving myself. Some days are really harder than others. And I just feel so stuck. Maybe I don't love myself because of my past failures. Maybe I don't love myself because of past failed relationships. Maybe something in my life has made me feel unlovable. Whatever the reason is, I just have a tough time loving myself. I just can't love myself. I really struggle with loving myself. But maybe I can love myself a little bit more. Maybe I can learn to love my imperfections. Maybe I can learn to see that I am good enough. Maybe I can see that I am worthy of love. Maybe I can love myself through this process. I really struggle still with loving myself. And there will be days where I love myself more than others. But it's not selfish to love myself. It's not selfish to put my needs first. I really can love myself. I just have to let go of this idea that I have to be perfect. I have to let go of the idea that I have to earn love. Just by being me, I deserve love. I am worthy of love. And it's not going to happen overnight. But each day, I can begin to love myself a little bit more. I can truly love myself and heal from the things that are hurting me. I can stop being so hard on myself. I can really love myself and heal. If I let go of trying to be perfect all the time. I can love myself more by accepting that I'm human. I can love myself more by being who I truly am. I can love myself by realizing that I am enough just as I am. I can love myself by setting healthy boundaries with those around me. I can love myself more each and every day. I'm choosing to focus more on love and loving myself and letting go of all of the fears. And take a deep breath in and out. And you can stop tapping and just close your eyes for a minute. And we're going to check in again. So just notice how you're feeling now. And then on a scale from 1 to 10, just rate how you're feeling about loving yourself. So remember, we were focusing on the lack of love. So you want your number to go down if you're feeling better now. So just notice on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you feel about loving yourself now? Has your number gone down? Are you feeling any sense of relief? Are you feeling any better? And just notice it. And then check in with your body and just notice how your body's feeling. Have you let go of some tension or tightness anywhere? And then on a scale from 1 to 10, you can rate that as well. And then once you have your numbers, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you're new to EFT tapping, you can always check out, there's a lot of YouTube videos, and there's also the tappingsolution.com. They're having their annual tapping summit, like I mentioned before, so it's a really good time to check out all of their information. It's a free event, so they have tons of tapping videos on there. So definitely check that out. Also, I am offering EFT tapping sessions. So if you enjoyed this and you want to go more in depth in a one-on-one session, I do EFT tapping and I use a customized MPI based on what you're going through in your life. So if you're dealing with something in your life, some sort of issue, we can use customized tapping to help alleviate, to help you get help you go from maybe a 10 to a 4. And like anything with tapping, you can keep repeating this. It doesn't necessarily mean sometimes that we go from a 10 to a 6 all the time, or a 10 to a 4. Sometimes it's a slower shift, and you can just repeat this process. So if you want to, in the comments below, you can put what your number was before and what your number is now. And if you're interested in my EFT tapping and going further in depth, I'm going to put a link in the comments after I finish the video. And then also, I am offering clarity sessions. So my clarity sessions are a one-on-one session where I explain my coaching packages. So I help people stand up for themselves, learn to set healthy boundaries, and be more assertive in their lives. So the clarity session is going to be a one-on-one session with me where I explain all my packages and what all that entails. So if you're curious, if you're interested in learning about what I do as a coach, you can book a free clarity session and I'll explain everything in that session. And then also, I wanted to thank people for coming out to my workshop. So I just had a workshop called Loving Yourself into Healing. And if you're interested in getting the replay of that, just send me a private message and I'll send you the replay of that workshop. Yeah, I think that's it for all the announcements. I may be doing another workshop somewhat in the future, but just stay tuned, stay posted. I'll keep posting on my website different things that I'm going to be offering and different packages and different services. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and have a great day. Love and light.